Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are welcome once again to another session of our lesson, the conversational lesson. And in this lesson, we will be looking at the lesson 11 of Madinah book. And this is Ad-Darsul Hadi Ashar. Ad-Darsul Hadi Ashar. So let's start learning about observation. We started learning, numbers, how to number and how to count in Arabic. But this kind of counting is الترتيبي العدد الترتيبي ordinal number first, second, third, fourth is slightly different than the التعدادي, the counting number, which is the cardinal 1 2 3 4. So let's take note of the way they are arranged. So we see that to say first, you say الأول first, الثاني الثالث الرابع الخامس السادس السابع الثامن التاسع العاشر. Now 11, let's take note of the format. This is learning by observation. So الحادي عشرة. Okay, so but inshallah we'll learn from, of course I think we'll learn from 11 to 20 in our cardinal counting as well. So you know that, but at least let's learn the way these ordinal numbers are arranged at TB, the way they are done. So that's learning by observation. And if you observe the way they are written or the way they are used, you learn it from there before we learn it properly under the grammar session. Now we are moving on to Ad-Darsul Hadi Ashar, lesson 11. So we have just a short passage here, which comprises almost all the grammatical elements that we've learned. So, and this is just to, for us to practice and to make use of grammatical elements. Because I need someone to read for me the first passage. Is done passage by passage. We have about 2 passages here. So let's read this passage. Yeah. الدرس الحادي عشر. Who's going to start reading?
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
نعم وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. نعم.
الدرس الحادي عشر.
نعم.
بيتي, my house. هذا بيتي, this is my house. بيتي أمام المسجد. My house is at the front of the masjid. بيتي جميل. بيتي جميل. My house is beautiful. Now, فيه حديقة صغيرة. In it, there is a small garden. هذه غرفتي. This is my room. فيها, now there is a big fridge, refrigerator.
No.
ومروحة جميلة.
No.
And a beautiful fan.
Okay.
No.
Now
هذا سرير. سرير.
Yeah.
This is my desk. My clock, wakolami, and my pen, wakitabi, and my book, alal maktabi, are on the desk. Wahaqibati, my bag, tahta maktabi, is under the table. Nafidhat gurfati, مفتوحة. My room's fridge is open.
Barakallahu fiqh.
هذه غرفة
Barakallahu
حسن.
fiqh. That's
نعم.
okay. Barakallahu fiqh. Thank you for that prowess. That's beautiful. However, let's take more. Can I please mute now? I can hear some movement, some door movement or so. So yeah, please. Now, nafida. Please, first of all, let's take a look at the meaning. So nafidatun, it is not fridge but window. Okay, so please take note of that. Nafida is a window. Okay, now that's the meaning. Now let's look at the pronunciation. Let's look at the pronunciation. So the way you pronounced it is there's a little slightly wrong a little bit. So nafidatun. Okay, nafidatun. Can you please repeat nafidatun? Nafidatun. Can you please repeat that?
نعم نافذة.
Barakallahu fik. So nafidatun. So it is window, not a fridge. Okay, so it's window, not a fridge. So who knows the right word for fridge? Does anyone have an idea what the Arabic word for fridge is?
ثلاجة.
Barakallahu fik. Yes, that's what it is. Thalajatun. Thalaja. All right, so that's what it is. Let's write it down. Thalaja. Okay, so nafida is barakallahu fik. So let's look at the form, the meaning. There's what we call MFP. MFP, the meaning, the form, and the pronunciation. So now we know the meaning, nafida. Okay, and then we know the form. Now we know the pronunciation, nafidatun. So whoever has an issue with the pronunciation should also pronounce it so we can correct that. Nafida. So, and of course the form. There's a little bit of the form, and that has to do with the usage, the grammatical form and the usage. Now it is used as a nakira. It's a nakira here. It's a nakira here. So now thank you for that prowess. That's beautiful. Now let's take a look. We break down, these sentences into the meaning, the form, and the pronunciation. هذا بيتي. We all know what this is. It's a jumla ismiya. Without wasting time, jumla ismiya comprising of mubtada wa khabar. بيتي أمام المسجد. This is another. بيتي أمام المسجد. What is it? Is it jumla ismiya or something? Let's look at the form. Is it a jumla ismiya? Is it also a jumla or not? Yeah, I mentioned the first one, so I want to elicit the answer from you. Bayti amam al-masjid. Is it jumla ismiya or not? What kind of jumla? What kind of what kind of?
Yes, jumla ismiya.
Okay, so what is the structure? I mean, the composition. Which one is? If it's a jumla ismiya, then we definitely have to have mubtada and khabar. So which one is mubtada and which one is khabar?
Bayti is mubtada. Amam al-masjid is khabar.
Okay, barakallah fiqh. So, Bayti is the mubtada and Amam al-Masjid is the khabar. Okay, so that's understood. Now we have another jumla ismiya. So if you look at this structure, And this is how you also speak as a learner, as a beginner learner. You start with giving simple sentences so that you not get confused in the long run. As a learner, you start with forming simple jumla ismiya sentences or jumla fi'liya sentences, one after the other. So, and this is how you start, forming your sentences. You start communication. Do too long expressions so that you don't get confused at the end of the day. Now, every sentence is given here. Every sentence given here is either a jumla ismiya. In fact, everything is jumla ismiya. Bayti amama masjid. Bayti jamil. My house is beautiful. فيه حديقة صغيرة. فيه حديقة صغيرة. So, this one too, we're going to learn that. It's also a form of jumla ismiya where we have فيه خبر مقدم حديقة صغيرة مبتدأ مؤخر. We're going to learn all of that. So, فيه, because it started with a شبه الجملة. So, حديقة صغيرة comes after, which is a mubtada, and it comes in form of a nakra. So, of course, it's a jumla ismiya, but it's slightly changed in structure for the reason that the khabar, which is this one, is a shibhul jumla, and it comes first. And then your mubtada will come second in another form, in a nakira form. But that does not make it a nakira, it's still a ma'rifa. It does not make it doesn't make it less than a mubtada. It's still a mubtada, but it's just a mubtada that is being thrown backwards. Okay? Now, فيه حديقة صغيرة. There is in it, that is in my house. حديقة صغيرة. حديقة, a small garden. In the last lesson, which all of you missed except Sister Mutia, we did Sifa Mawsuf. We did the Murakkab Tawsifi, adjective. Sister Mutia, are you there? Do we have Sister Mutia there? Yes, she's there. So this is recognizable to you. حديقة جميلة صغيرة. What kind of phrase is it? What kind of phrase is it from the last lesson?
It's an adjective phrase.
Yes, an adjective phrase. In Arabic, how do we say that? An adjective phrase in Arabic, مركب.
توصيف.
Oh yeah, yes, توصيفي. مركب توصيفي. All right, توصيفي. In a nutshell, you say مركب توصيفي. If that's more clear to you. مركب توصيفي, or you say مركب توصيفي. Now, that's what it is. So if it's a مركب توصيفي, which one is sifa? Which one is موصوف? Which one is not? Which one is man'ut?
Adiko is the noun, and Sogiratun is the adjective.
Thank you. Hadiqa is a noun, which is the, you're still speaking English. You speak Arabic now. So I need the answer in Arabic terminology. Which one is sifa? Which one is mawsuf?
Hadiqatu mawsuf sagiratun sifa.
Thank you, Barakallah. Sister Muthiya, do you agree to that?
Yes.
If you agree to that, and I want you to say it. This is mawsuf, this is sifa.
Adikotu is Mausuf, Sogiratun is Sifa.
Barakallah fiqh. Hadiqatun. Take note of that. It's very important. You don't say hadiqatu as if there's no tenwin. Hadiqatun. So you say it with confidence, knowing what you are saying. Hadiqatun. So whoever listens to you or hears you speak, they would know that you know what you're saying, that you are pronouncing it properly. Hadiqatun. Pronunciation is very important. When you're learning grammar or any language, these three things is important. MFP. Okay, so the meaning, the form, and the pronunciation. You got to know the meaning of what you're saying. If you are forming expressions, you need to know the form, what you're saying. You need to know that this is a jumla. If you want to talk about something, first of all, you know the meaning of the vocabulary that you are using. You know the meaning of the word you're using. you got to know the form of the word you're using. You know whether it's a jumla ismiya, whether it's murakkabun tawsifi, whether it's murakkabun idafi. You know the form. Is it a jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya? Which one is shibhul jumla? Which one is this? Which one is that? You got to know the form. That's why I'm taking time to ensure that I elicit the meaning, I elicit the form from you. So you need to understand every bit of what you're learning. So it's very important. We are not just learning the grammar, we're not learning the vocabularies, but you have to know the form. So when you speak, you speak with confidence, knowing fully what you're saying, the meaning, the form. And I've mentioned the form, that is which one is jumla ismiya, which one is shibhul jumla, which one is, jumla fi'liya, and all of that. And the pronunciation, please. This pronunciation is very important. You have to pronounce properly like the natives. You want to speak Arabic, and then you want people to doubt whether you are a native of you're a native or not. Yeah. So I've got someone like that speaks Arabic, subhanallah, and she speaks as though she's a native. Yeah. So I mean, it's beautiful, especially for female when they speak. I mean, it has beauty to them. That's when they speak correctly. So I mean, let's learn this. It's very important. Everything you learn, you perfect it. MFP is important, the meaning, the form, and the pronunciation. And these are the things I'm going to be applying, or actually I've been applying so far. So I want you to also take note of that. That's why I'm mentioning it. So that when you are learning personally, when you're studying personally, you got to know whether you know the meaning of what you're saying. You have to ask yourself, what's the form? Just like the way I did asking. I said, what kind of sentence is this? I said, what kind of sentence is this? So you have to know that fihi hadiqatun saghira is a jumla ismiya, but a little bit doctored. What's happening to it? Because we have the khabar as a shibhul jumla and it's brought forward. You have hadiqatun saghira as a mubtada'un mu'akhar, is a mubtada that is brought backwards. And for what reason? And that's so you need to know the form and of course the pronunciation. So Sister Mopia, I've always emphasized on you getting hang of the pronunciation. It's very important. Okay, so let's move on. So we have fi hadiqatun saghiratun. Okay, so and like we said, hadiqatun saghira, hadiqa is what it is mawsuf. Saghiratun is sifa. Okay, so that's what we have there. Now we move on to this. هذه غرفتي is another jumla ismiya, and this is the form. هذه غرفتي. You look at the way I pronounce. هذه غرفتي. Your ghain must come properly. Your letters must be pronounced from their makhraj. I mean, you pronounce properly. هذه. Your dhal must be dhal. Your ha must be ha. Your ghain must be well pronounced. Ghain. هذه غرفتي. So that when you speak, they take you for a native. Okay, هذه غرفتي. This is my room. So we have this. فيها نافذة كبيرة ومروحة جميلة. This is another جملة اسمية, but it's been these are misarranged, not misarranged. It's been, the arrangement has been engineered for a reason that the khabar is coming forth while the mubtada is coming second. So fiha, in it, that is in my room, nafidatun kabira, there is a big window. So wamirwahatun jamila, and a fan, a beautiful fan. Okay, so now having understood this, please, Brother Adam, you got to mute yourself. So I'm gonna try to do that. Okay, yeah. Okay, so except if you want to ask a question, but let's move on. Now we have this. Sa'ati. And you mentioned it says Sa'ati wa qalami. Now what we have. So hadha sariri. We are here actually. Hadha sariri. This is my bed. Wa hadha kursiyun. Wa hadha kursiyi. And this is my chair. Wa hadha maktabi. And this is my table. Everything is a jumla ismiya. Every sentence here is a jumla ismiya. Sa'ati, my watch. Or we say my clock. It can be clock, it can be watch. Wa qalami, and my pen. Wa kitabi, and my book. على المكتب on the table or on the desk. وحقيبتي my bag تحت المكتب. Okay, تحت المكتب, it is under the table. Okay, now this is another جملة اسمية. حقيبتي ما is a مبتدأ, تحت المكتب is the جملة is a خبر. Okay, نافذتي, sorry, نافذة غرفتي. What's the form here? نافذة غرفتي مفتوحة. What's the form of نافذة غرفتي? What is the form? I mean,
إضافي
what is the form? Yeah.
علاقة إضافية.
Okay. علاقة إضافية. علاقة إضافية. That is what it is. بارك الله فيك. So it is مركب. We can say مركب. That's, you're talking about the relationship. But you want to say what kind of form? What's the form of this phrase? Is a phrase. So you say مركب إضافي. Is a مركب, a phrase. مركب إضافي. Okay. Now مفتوحة is opened. And this whole sentence, نافذة غرفتي مفتوحة, the form is جملة اسمية. نافذة غرفتي مبتدأ, مفتوحة is a خبر. So, but if you want to express each and every one of them, then you say, okay, نافذة is مضاف, and then مرفوع بضمة, and غرفتي مضاف إليه, and then you start breaking it. However, altogether, نافذة غرفتي, that whole phrase is the مبتدأ. Why مفتوحة is the خبر. Okay, so that's taken. We need a female volunteer. I'm gonna choose Sister Mutia to read this sentence. Okay, I mean, you got to read this whole passage. Sorry, this whole paragraph. اقرأي هذه الفقرة. بارك الله فيك. اقرأي هذه الفقرة. Yeah, Sister Mutia.
هذه غرفة أخي.
أخي. هذه غرفة أخي. Can you repeat that?
أخي. هذه غرفة أخي.
Ah, yes, you got to work on that anyways. Please work on that. It's the work of the throat. You got to work on the throat. You exercise it. أخي. Okay, واسع. واسلي. Move on.
وتلك غرفة أخي.
No. وتلك غرفتي غرفة أختي. وتلك
أختي.
غرفة أختي.
وتلك غرفة أختي.
Okay.
غرفة أختي كبير.
أختي. There's a difference between P and T. If you say to, if you say P, that's pronunciation of P. You're pronouncing P. To. But you got to say ta. Ukhti. It has to be soft. Ukhti. Yeah.
غرفة أختي
Thank you.
كبير. كبير.
It's not kabirun. Take a look at it.
كبيرة.
Kabiratun, yes.
وغرفة أختي صغيرة.
Yeah. وغرفة أختي صغيرة. Yeah.
غرفة أختي.
No. غرفة.
أختي.
It's not أختي. This is not أختي.
أخي.
أخي. Okay.
أمام.
Yes. أمامه.
غرفتي.
غرفتي.
وغرفة أختي.
No. It's
أختي.
أختي. Yes.
أختي أمام المطبخ.
أمام المطبخ.
مطبخ.
Okay, that's beautiful. أمام المطبخ. Yeah. Next one, continue.
لأخو.
Li. It's not.
لأخو.
No, it's not li. Li ahu. Li.
لي أخ
أخ. Yeah.
واحد
واحد. واحد. Yeah. لي أخ واحد. Yeah.
اسمه
اسمه. By default, every
اسم
Arabic word will have a dhamma. If they are singular words, by default, every Arabic singular word has a dhamma.
اسمه
Yeah, ismuhu.
أمام أمامه
Amama.
أمامه
Yeah.
ولي أخت واحدة اسمها
ولأخت واحدة اسمها.
سهد سهد
Su'ad. That's a feminine name. ولي أخت واحدة اسمها سعاد. اسمها سعاد.
أبي وأمي في تلك
أبي
الغرفة
وأمي there's a shadda there. أبي وأمي.
أبي وأمي في تلك تلك تل- تلك غرفة الكبيرة.
Yeah. Okay.
أنا
أبي وأمي في تلك what? Can you read this line again?
في تلك الغرفة الكبيرة.
No, it's not كبيرة. This is okay. What's the form here? This one, this word. What's the form? What's happening there? What is the relation between al-ghurfa and al-kabira there?
مركب an
مركب
adjective
توصيفي.
Yeah,
توصيفي.
tawsifi, thank you. Murakkab tawsifi. Okay, that's it. So automatically, however you pronounce this is the way you pronounce this. Whatever is happening to this is happening to this. Okay, so fi tilka, this fi, like I said, is going to give it a kasra. Fi tilka al-ghurfati al-kabirati. Can you repeat that?
في تلك الغرفة كبيرة.
Yeah, mashallah. All right, continue please. Ana.
أنا أحب أبي وأمي وأحب
أنا أحب أبي وأمي وأحب
أخي وأختي.
MashaAllah. أحب أخي وأختي. Okay, please try as much as possible to repeat it after the lesson. Repeat the recitation and the reading. So I'm going to read it again so you can correct some of the errors you've made. Now, the last one here, this is the only place where we have Jumla Fi'liya. Okay, this is the only place where we have Jumla Fi'liya. Now, Ana, okay, it's not even a Jumla Fi'liya. Yeah, it's a Jumla. This one is a Jumla Ismiya because it starts with Ana. It starts with Ana. But the second one, وأحب أخي وأختي, is a Jumla فعلية. Now let's move on here. So هذه غرفة أخي. So غرفة أخي مركب إضافي. And هذه غرفة is a جملة اسمية. Yeah. So هذه غرفة أخي. This is my this is my brother's room. Yes, this is my brother's room. وتلك غرفة أختي. And that is my sister's room. غرفة أخي كبيرة وغرفة أختي صغيرة. غرفة أخي, my brother's room, مركب إضافي. كبيرة is big, right? Yeah. So غرفة أخي, my brother's room, كبيرة is big. Now this is also جملة اسمية. وغرفة أختي, my sister's room, صغيرة is small. غرفة أخي, my brother's room, أمام غرفتي. أمام means before or in front of. Yeah. So let's take note of that. In front of. So my brother's room أمام غرفتي is in front of my room. وغرفة أختي, my sister's room أمام المطبخ is in front of the مطبخ. المطبخ means kitchen. Yeah. Kitchen. So let's take note of that. Now, لي أخ واحد. I have one brother. اسمه أسامة. His name is Osama. Please take note as I'm translating. I have one brother. His name is Osama. And the way you can also read it this way. لي أخ واحد اسمه. واحد اسمه. If you want to connect this is واحد. So you want to connect it to this ismuhu. This name here, what you have right here is ismuhu, ismu. But you want to connect it with the wahid, you say wahiduni. Please let's think of that. Li akhun wahidun ismuhu Usama. Li akhun wahidun ismuhu Usama. Right? So let's take note of that. And you can separate it. You can say li akhun wahidun ismuhu Usama. Now, wali ukhtun wahidatun اسمها سعاد. ولي أخت واحدة اسمها. You can also do that by connecting the tun with the ismu. واحدة اسمها. All right, so we have tun, yeah, and we have ismuha. Okay, so now you can connect the two. You can say tuni. Can you see where you have tuni now? We have tun, and then we have ismu. So we can connect the two by saying tunismuha. Wahida tunismuha. Does it make, I think it makes sense now, right? Where we have wahida tunismuha. Because we have tun and ismu. So you can connect the tun with the I, with the E here, for example, and say tuni. Tunismuha. Or tunismu. Wahidunismu. Now, because here we have dun for wahidun, and you have ismu coming next, right? So you can say dunis. Does it make sense now? Wahidun ismuhu Usama. Li wali ukhtun wahidatun ismuha. All right, so please let's think of that. Abi wa ummi fi tilka al-ghurfati al-kabira. My father and my mother are in that big room. Okay, we've talked about, we've learned هذا and هذه تلك and ذلك. We learn all of this. Okay, so تلك الغرفة, that big room. تلك الغرفة الكبيرة, that big room. Now here, can someone tell me how to say that is the big room? How do you say that to make it clear?
ذلك البيت كبير.
No. We are talking about that. I mean,
تلك
that is
تلك هي
Okay.
the big group.
الغرفة الكبيرة.
Thank you. We said تلك هي الغرفة الكبيرة. That is the big room. Okay, but تلك الغرفة الكبيرة can also mean that is the big room in context, even though depending on the context you are talking about, if the person will understand you, it depends on what you are talking about. So he said تلك الغرفة الكبيرة to mean that is the big room. It could mean that is the big room too, and it could also mean that big room. It depends on what you are talking about or the context. But to make it clear, if you are talking about that is the big room, you have to add what is called ضمير فصل. ضمير فصل. There's something we call ضمير فصل. We're going to be talking about that. ضمير فصل is separator pronoun. We call it separator pronoun. Yeah, separator pronoun. So it's just there to separate, the two, to give us an extra meaning, an additional meaning, a special meaning that you want to drive at. So تلك الغرفة الكبيرة. It could mean that big room or that is the big room. But if you want to make it clear, you put here, so you say تلك هي الغرفة الكبيرة. And these can only mean that is the big room. It cannot mean that big room anymore. We have added the here to give us a special meaning. So we call it ضمير فصل. Now, أنا أحب أمي أبي وأمي وأحب أخي وأختي. I love my father, my mother, and I love my brother and my sister. Okay, so this is a جملة فعلية because it starts with a sentence, with a جملة, with a verbal sentence. Are we together, please?
Yes.
All right. Now we have this. اقرأ واكتب. What's the time? Okay. So we are told to read and write. Yeah, who's gonna read this? Sister Jamila. Yeah, you've not read so far. Yeah, can you do this? 1 and 2.
من في هذا البيت؟
Yes, ما في هذا البيت.
فيه حامل.
فيه حامد. What's the meaning?
Who is in the house? In
Yes.
it is Hamid.
Who is in the house or who is in this house?
Who is in this house?
Okay, yes. في حامد. Okay, in it is Hamid. In it is what? Hamid. Or we say Hamid is in it.
Hamid.
Okay, let's go. Number 2.
ماذا في الحقيبة؟ في الحقيبة. What is in the bag?
Yeah.
فيها كتابي وقلمي ودفتري. In it is my book, my pen, and my kitabi. That's a textbook, my pen, and my exercise book.
Okay, yes, mashallah. فيها كتابي could be my book. Well, we could say my book or textbook, whichever. But kitab means book, so it could mean anything. But it's a book, so in it is my book, my pen with daftari, and my notebook. So daftari is a notebook or exercise book, as you said it. Okay. Yes, someone else. Someone has. That was number 3. Man fi sayyara. Yeah, who's gonna read that properly? Yeah, someone
من
else.
في السيارة
في السيارة. نعم.
فيها أبي وأمي وأخي وأختي.
أخي وأختي. I mentioned something earlier regarding this. What kind of sentence is this? Yes, what kind of sentence?
جملة اسمية.
Yeah, so can you explain why it is like that?
Yeah, جملة اسمية but the خبر coming first.
Okay, yes.
خبر مقدم. نعم،
خبر
خبر
مقدم.
مقدم
Yes. And the
يعني
rest?
مبتدأ مؤخر.
Yeah, أبي is a مبتدأ ومؤخر. أبي وأمي وأختي وأخي, and all of that, they are the مبتدأ, connected with أواو العطف, and they are the مبتدأ المؤخر. Okay, we learned that in the grammar lesson. I hope everyone understands this. Okay, so I just need to elicit the understanding. If you understand right here, by the time we get there in the grammar lesson, it will be, you have more clarity because you've seen the application. Okay, so by induction, this is an inductive method. I just use an inductive approach to give us the rule, and we saw an example, and then we induce the meaning, the rule from it. So let's take note of that. Now, من في المسجد. Yeah, who's gonna read the next one? Number 4.
من في المسجد الجامعة الآن.
من في مسجد الجامعة الآن.
الآن.
Yes.
ما فيه أحد.
Mm. ما فيه أحد. Yes, what's the meaning?
Who is in the university mosque now?
Yes, who's in the university mosque now?
No. ما فيه أحد. There is no one there.
There's no one there. So let's take note. Usually you use the word أحد, usually in the negative way. Mostly in the negative way. That is, use the word أحد in a negative way. Usually. So you want to say there's no one there. You don't say ما فيه واحد. So you want to say there's someone there. Now, I'm going to teach us a concept. There's someone there. How do we say that? Do we say في أحد? ما في أحد. There's no one because of the ma. Right? We learned how to say I don't have. I don't have. We say ما عندي. Right? ما عندي. ما عندي ما تستعجلون به. إن الحكم إلا لله يقص الحق. ما عندي. I don't have. ما تستعجلون به is an ayah in Surah Al-An'am. Okay? ما عندي. So we saw something like that too. ما عندي. I don't have. So that's how to say I have عندي. Now ما فيه. There's no one there. ما فيه. There's nothing in it. أحد. Anyone. There's no one there. ما في أحد. Now how do we say في? How do we say someone is there? فيه what? Someone is there. How do we say that? Someone is there. Yes? Anyone? Let's try. I mean, it's just
في أحد.
okay. Okay, so we have someone saying, Sister Jamila said, Fi Ahad. Okay. Any contrary opinion? Now, to save time, you don't say Fi Ahad. You say Fi Wahid. Now, I've taught you another way to use number. Wahid, usually we think it's just number. You say one, Wahidun, Isnan, so like 1, 2, 3. So it's not used only in one, in 1 to 3. It is also used to mean someone also. Fihi Wahid. There is someone there. Wahidun, someone there. Okay, so it is more like an adjective where the mawsuf has been deleted. So we probably mean fihi shakhsun wahid. Fihi what? Shakhsun wahid. Shakhsun means a person. I mean, Sheikh, Sister Mutia, are you following? I can hear your voice no more. Are you following?
Yes.
Now, shakhsun means a person. Fi shakhs. You can say fi shakhs, there's someone there. Or you should fi shakhsun wahid. A person, one person is there. So instead of saying shakhsun, the mawsuf is deleted because it is the with the sifa being there is understood already. So you say fi wahid. Mafhum? Is that taken? So fi wahid. In the negative case, you use ahad. You don't say ma fi wahid. You say ma fi ahad. So you use ahad mostly in a negative case, and you use wahid in a positive case. Fihi wahid. I saw someone. رأيت واحدا في الغرفة. رأيت واحدا في المسجد. I saw someone in the masjid. I don't see anyone in the masjid. ما رأيت أحدا في المسجid. مفهوم? Do you understand that? ما رأيت أحدا في المسجد. I didn't see
نعم.
anyone. رأيت واحدا في المسجد. I saw someone in the masjid. So these are the way you use it. Ahad for negative case, wahid for positive case. For positive context. Please let's take note of that. Number 5 now. Yes, who's gonna read that? Who's gonna read that? Number 5.
من في هذه الغرفة.
Yes, من في هذه الغرفة. Yeah.
Who is in this room? فيها المدير.
فيها
In
المدير.
it, Mudir is in the room.
In it. So in it is a mudir. So فيها المدير. In this case, فيها المدير. You may not have to say فيها المدير. You can say فيها المدير. And when you say فيها المدير, this mad will go. It will not be pronounced. Just فيها المدير. Is that taken now? So let's take note of that. This is pronunciation. فيها المدير. Not necessarily فيها. You can say فيها المدير, yeah? فيها المدير. And because speech is loose, usually speech is loose. But usually reading is formal. When you are reading, it is formal than speech. When you are talking is loose, but reading is not loose. It's usually formal. So let's say you are reading a speech, and this not, it doesn't say fiha al mudir when you are reading a speech, when you are reading. It is permissible when you are speaking, fiha al mudir. That's understood. But when you are reading, you're expected to read properly like fiha al mudir. Okay? Or just like we have wahidun. Li ukhtun wahidun ismuhu Ahmed. Li akhun wahidun ismuhu Ahmed. Wali ukhtun wahidatun ismuha. That's when you are reading. But when you are speaking, speaking is loose and is usually informal. So let's take note of that. Now, let's try to read, study this. Everything you have here is jumla fi'liya because it starts with the verb uhibbu. Uhibbu is I love, I like, I love, I like. So we can use uhibbu to mean I love, or you say I like. Uhibbu, 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 I love. Uhibbu abi wa ummi, I love my mom and dad. Uhibbu zamili, I love my mate. Uhibbu Allah, I love Allah. Uhibbu Allah al-Arabiyya, I love language, Arabic language. Uhibbu akhi wa ukhti. Uhibbu ustadhi, I love my ustad. Uhibbu nabiyya sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I love the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So let's study that because of our time is gone. So yes, alhamdulillah, we've come to the end of lesson 11. I thought we have more. So please go back to it, study it, read it personally, study, remember all the grammatical inductions that we did here or deductions that we've made, so that we are getting into a little bit more advanced part of the learning. So this is the time when you start to make use of things you've learned, challenge yourself, and put things to good use so that you can blend in properly. So we stop here, and then in the next lesson we move on to lesson 12. Bi'idhnillah. Any question before we end the lesson? Okay, so if there's no question, so we stop here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Khitaman wa ibtida.